What's going on, everybody? What's going on? This is Lindsay with the Gentle Blitz, and tonight, as you can see, I have the mini microphone going on right now. It's my Blue Yeti is out of commission at the moment, so we're gonna do like a little bit of soft spoken with a little bit of whisper, so like kind of go in between all of that, and I have to hold it, so that's amazing. So that kind of takes the computer aspect out of this. For the moment, I am working on getting a new Blue Yeti, or I think it just might be the cord, so working on that. But as you can see tonight, I am gonna recap the NCAA weekend, which, some teams fared well and other teams decided to wet the bed like Alabama did. So, before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, all the things. But yeah, we're back to the phone. So, it's great. I love it. We'll start off on Friday, which we had Minnesota, Oregon. Oregon won 42-13. I don't think there was any question whether or not Oregon was going to beat Minnesota. So, I know there was like one obvious call that maybe it shouldn't have been a touchdown, but that didn't change the outcome of the game. At least I don't think it did. The other Friday night actually had some pretty good games. You had Clemson, Louisville. Clemson won 20-19. And I think it ended up, was it like last second, or did Louisville, I think Louisville ended up missing like 3 field goals, or 2 field goals at the end of the game. And that ended up being the reason that they lost. Like always, Alabama is notified for all of the scores on my phone. So they will always be the first team that I talk about. And that game was, you could just feel from the get-go that Alabama didn't have it together. And I'm not saying that, sorry, I started a video on my phone. I'm not saying that Alabama didn't have the opportunities to win. They actually did. In fact, I think the reason that they lost is because they shot themselves in the foot the entire time. Ty Simpson, there's 3 turnovers that turned into, I think, 17 points. And then the Alabama field goal kicker missing two field goals. Ended up being the difference in the game. Do I think that, because John Meter wasn't like great. It was 5 of 23 for 138 yards. And he scored a touchdown on the run by running, but it wasn't like the offense was amazing. It was that their defense, which, let's preach here, that defense wins championships. Their defense was amazing, and I think they're like in the tops. And I'm not saying that Alabama's defense wasn't. They kept Oklahoma in check. It's just Alabama's offense was the reason that they lost the game. You had Ty Simpson fumble the ball twice, and he threw an interception that was a pick 6. Even if you did everything else and you stopped that pick 6 from happening, you would have won the game. But I digress now. Alabama has to win out and hope that either Oklahoma loses, Georgia loses, Ole Miss loses, like everybody above them has to lose. I think they do still make the playoffs, but I don't know that they'll make the SEC championship. They have to win out. They have to go to Auburn. They have to do that in order for that to happen. So they need a little bit of help, but we'll see. I know. They kind of decided to wet the bed in like the biggest moment, and it was a homecoming game, which is crazy. Ohio State beat UCLA 48-10. I don't think there was any question that was going to happen. Wisconsin, Indiana. Wisconsin stayed in tow with Indiana for a little bit of it, I think until the first half was over, and then Indiana said, oh yeah, we're playing Wisconsin, so we'll go ahead and win the game. So they ended up winning 31-7. Now, the best game, in my opinion, was South Carolina, Texas A&M. South Carolina had every opportunity to win that game. Every opportunity. They went into the half 30-3. They ended up losing 31-30, which is crazy. But it's a bigger testament to what Texas A&M is doing, because to be down by that much and just to be like, we're gonna come back, we're gonna win this game. You could kind of feel it at the end of the half. You could kind of feel that Texas was gonna go into the locker room, reset, and come back, and then South Carolina just couldn't capitalize on anything. They didn't score another point. Which is crazy. It was great. I mean, I think that almost solidifies. Let's look at the box score. I think it almost solidifies Marcel Reed as like a Heisman. He took that team on the back and said, "I got you guys. We're gonna go out here and win this game. I know I made a lot of mistakes, some mistakes in that first half, and we're just gonna go out there and I'm gonna show you that this is why I am who I am." And I love it. I loved watching it. It was great. You kind of had that Heisman winning moment for Marcel Reed, and I think as much as I want Julian saying, I think that Marcel Reed definitely pushed himself into that top 2 conversation. Texas, Georgia, UGA won 35-10. Arch Manning isn't who everybody thinks he is. Now maybe he takes this year and he's like, this was a learning year, and he comes back next year, which I do think he will come back. But he's just not the guy that we all think he is. I'm not saying that he was bad. I also think that they don't have the weapons. Gunnar Stockton, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, UGA is coming on in the right moment, and they're doing the right things. I do expect probably UGA, Texas A&M in the SEC championship. I actually don't know that Alabama can go to Auburn and win. This is like Auburn's national championship, and if they can ruin anything that Alabama has set up, then they would love to do it. So I don't know. I mean, Alabama has to win out. UGA just has to maintain, and they definitely can't lose to Georgia Tech. We'll see. Texas Tech, UCF. Texas Tech handled UCF. There was a doubt in my mind. It was 48-9. Ole Miss, Florida. Now Florida hung in there for a little bit. I ended up going to bed early on Sunday, and Saturday, and I woke up to a 34-24. But Ole Miss, I think they have the egg. I think they're off next week, and then they have the Egg Bowl. So we'll see what happens there. Again, I don't expect them to lose anytime soon. So I think the SEC has a chance to have like 4 teams in it, but I'm not sure. Notre Dame handled Pitt 37-15. BYU handled TCU like I knew that they would, 44-13. Utah beat Baylor 55-28. Miami is keeping their playoff hopes alive. 41-7. Georgia Tech had a little bit of a scare. I don't see them jumping Miami. Because Boston College is definitely worse than NC State. So I think everything will maintain the way it is. I think it's going to come down to that last week. And I think that's what the committee wants, is like it's coming down to these last few games, kind of like in the NFL. You kind of want that to be the case. Iowa, USC. I think when I went to bed, Iowa was winning. I don't know what the box score was, or the play-by-play. Yeah, when I went to bed, Iowa was winning 21-10. So I was surprised to see when I woke up that USC ended up coming back and winning the game, 26-21. Michigan squeaked by Northwestern. They were playing at Wrigley. Virginia Tech did beat Duke. I know I had that as my upset. It was 34-17. Bad take on my part. Nobody thought that New Mexico State was going to go into Knoxville and beat Tennessee. Tennessee won 42-9. South Florida Navy. Now, I think I did say in my video that Navy could. I took South Florida. I will own that. And I think I said that Navy could upset them, and they did. They upset them pretty early. I mean, I think they were up pretty early, and then they kind of let USF back into the game. Let's look at the play-by-play. Yeah, at the end of the second quarter, Navy was winning 24-9, and they let USF back into the game, but USF ended up fumbling and giving that game away to Navy. So that pretty much solidifies USF. Sorry, I might have been saying UCF, but USF isn't gonna make the college football playoffs. At least I don't think so. Let me know if I'm wrong, because I don't know. We'll look at the standings really quick. I wish I had my computer and my microphone. But and then I took Arizona over Cincinnati. Listen, I love their softball team. Caitlin Lowe is the head coach at Arizona. Bear down. She is by far one of the best softball players you will ever see in your lifetime. I think I started watching softball back in like 2005, 2007, because I think they won with Taryn Mowat as a pitcher. And I think it was 2007 that Caitlin Lowe ran into a wood wall, broke her nose, and still was out of that game, but still ended up playing, and they ended up winning the national championship against UT. You can check me on that. So I don't know a lot about their football team, but I know a lot about their softball team, and that's why I chose them, and they ended up coming through. Let's look at the AP rankings. Let's see. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M all stayed the same. UGA moved up a spot. Ole Miss moved up a spot. Oregon moved up a spot. Texas Tech moved up 2 spots. Oklahoma moved up 3 spots, and Notre Dame stayed the same. Alabama dropped 6 spots. But I think that things can happen in order for Alabama to move up, but it has to be in their favor, and I don't know if that's going to happen. BYU moved up a spot. Vanderbilt was on a bye, but they also moved up a spot. Utah moved up a spot. Miami moved up a spot, and Georgia Tech dropped a spot. USC moved up 1 spot, and Texas moved down 7 spots. Michigan stayed the same. Virginia moved up a spot. Tennessee moved up a spot. James Madison up here in the top 25 has moved up 3 spots. University of North Texas is up to 22nd. I think Missouri plays Texas A&M, right? I think that's who they play this weekend. Oh no, they play Oklahoma. I will cheer very hard for Mizzou. They are ranked at number 23, and Tulane is at 24, and Houston is at 25. The playoff bracket, I would say, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to say Alabama drops to 8. Alabama drops to 8, and Oklahoma moves up to like 6-ish. Let me know if... I don't know that there's going to be a lot of movement. Well, maybe I'll do like a short video tomorrow when it comes out. Or, no, it comes out today. When it comes out, we'll maybe do like a short video about it. But I'm going to say Alabama is either going to be 8 or 9. Oklahoma moves in. And Miami kind of stays the same. There wasn't really like much like movement. I think Texas definitely drops out. So that'll be a thing. But yeah, that is all I have for you. Let me know if you like the audio. I mean, I'm gonna try to get like a stand so I can whisper into that. But until next time, hug your family, tell your loved ones you